Hello everyone, welcome back. In this part, we're going to talk about backgrounds, colors keyword in our CSS and HTML. So here I have simple image with the name of bg.jpg that we're going to use through this part. First, let's say we have simple div right here, and we're going to target that div in our CSS file and give this a width of, let's say, 300 pixels and height of 200 pixels. And now if I give this a simple background, you'll see now we have our div right here. So if we want to use background image for our elements, we're going to type background-image property right here. And here we're going to type URL function and give the path of the image that we want to use, which in my case is bg.jpg. But you see now this is not the shape that we want. You see here it's our shape and we have only got this part of our shape in the element. To fix the issue, we have other properties to control. And the first one that we're going to talk is our background size, which here you can see we have our contain mode and cover mode. If we use this contain mode, you see now we got our image right as we want in our element. And after this, we have cover mode, which is the same thing, but cover fix the image based on the height and contain fix the image based on the width of element. But let's say we have another bg-s1, which is the smaller version of this image that we have right here. You see this is full HD image, and this one that I have has only 100 pixels and 67 resolution. So if we use this one in our file, you notice that because we have this one, it's gonna fix it. So let's remove that. You see now we have all of the element repeated the same image continuously to fill the element. So to fix that and say how to repeat our image, we have property called background repeat. And here, if I set this to no repeat, you'll see now here we have only one image shown. And if we have simple border right here, 1 pixel solid, you'll see now this is our element and this is the only part and thing that we got with this no repeat going on. But if we change this to repeat, you'll see we have this repeated. Another thing that we can have here is repeat-x. And this is going to repeat only in the width and not in the height. And as same as this, we have this Y thing going on for the height and not the width. Another thing that we can have right here is our round and space keywords. Round is same as repeat, and it's gonna repeat through the element and fill the empty spaces. And then we have this space that if you watched last part in border image, you saw that we have one image, then space and image after that. And that's going to apply right here too. But let's say we have this in no repeat mode. But if we want this to be in the bottom and right side, we're gonna use background-position property. And here, if I say right and then bottom, you'll see now it took the image and made it in the right and then bottom. And pay attention that if I clear this bottom, you'll see now it's in the right and middle of our element. We have the same thing for the left, top, and bottom. And of course, we have this center, so we have the image in the center of our element. And if we want to make, for example, this image a little bigger here, we can use background size here and give this, for example, 200 pixels. Now you'll see the size of our background has changed. Of course, don't forget that here we have our contain and cover mode that we can use to make that image in the old background of our element. Let's fix this to get the high-res image right here. And because this image is larger than our element, we don't need repeat and position things. Now let's delete all of this here and give this a simple background. You know that we have lots of image names, we can't remember them. So here in giving the color for our elements in CSS, we have several ways that we can do that. First one is using hex values. That is this number sign and 6 other things going on. That is hexadecimal, which we might cover in the channel later, which here we're going to put them in hexadecimal form, which here 0 is of course 0. After this, we have the highest value of f. And if I write 6f right here, you see now we have this white. And basically, these two stands for red values. These going to be stand for green values. And the last one is our blue values. So if I make these for 0, you see now here we have our blue one. After this, of course, you know that we have simple RGB that has red, green, and blue value that we can define. Let's say 12 in the red, 150 in the green, and 60 in the blue. You see now we got this thing going on that if I add a little blue to it, we're going to get something like this. After this, we have rgba value, which adds another parameter here, and that's going between 0 and 1. And specifies the transparency of our elements. So if I put 0.5 right here, you'll see here we have 50% of transparency. That, of course, we can use with percent right here and make this, for example, 80%. After this, we have other things called hsl, which is hue, saturation, and lightness of our image that you can define. For example, let's say we have 120 in the hue, saturation, let's say we want this to be in 60%, and let's say we want this a little dark and not so light and in 25%. You'll see that we have this type of green, and here in the first parameter we can define the base color of what we want. 120 is green, 240 is blue, and 630 or 0 is the red. So if I change this to 0, we got the same settings and configs, but in the base color of red. And after this, we can have hsla values, and that's as the same as rgba, which adds another parameter right here that specifies the transparency of our element. And if I say 30% right here, you see now we have that in 30%. And of course, if you're using code editors like VS Code, or I think all of the editors, you have this kind of color selector things that you can play with and select how you want your image to be shown. So here, let's say we have this div here, and we have another paragraph inside our div, which has 10 words inside it. Now, if here I select my paragraph right here, as we learned, we can give this any background that we want. But if I want to give this color of blue for the text, and after this in background color, I have several options that I can use. First thing that we have current color keyword. That because here we defined color for this element, if we use this background color or anything, we can use border right here too. If I use border here and give this border width of, let's say, 2 pixels and border style of solid. You'll see now we have that blue going on right here. But after this, we have another value of transparent that transparent is nothing, so we don't have anything, and we can use that in all ways that CSS wants color from us, even in our texts. You'll see now the color is transparent, but if I highlight on them, you see that we have those texts right here. And after that, we have one other thing, which is inherit, that is going to get the color from the parent element, which this is inside it. And here, if I give this a color of red, for example, you'll see now here the color of our paragraph is going to be taken from its parent, which is this div right here, and we define the red color for that. Please give a like and subscribe to catch next videos.